I want you to imagine a specific scenario. This is the builder. He has been playing on this offline, single-player world for 6 hours. He has placed 4,000 blocks. He has crafted 300 items. The code is running perfectly. The sun is shining. He is in a state of flow. And then, at the 6-hour mark, he stops. He doesn't open his inventory. He doesn't pause the game. He just listens. There is nothing in the code that triggered this. I checked the entity list. 0. I checked the ambient sound files. Silent. Mathematically, this player is the only living thing in this entire universe. But he felt it, that sudden cold prickle on the back of the neck. The feeling that the room he just built is occupied. We usually dismiss this feeling. We tell ourselves it's just atmosphere. We tell ourselves it's just a game. But what if it isn't? What if that feeling of being watched is actually your brain noticing something that the game code is trying to hide? Hello. Apparently, I'm lucky. And today, we need to talk about the ghosts in the machine. Let's look at the evidence. Our subject, I call him the builder, decides to revisit an old favorite. Maybe it's an alpha version of Minecraft, or maybe it's the classic GM construct in Garry's mod. He isn't looking for horror, he isn't looking for ghosts. He just wants to feel that specific nostalgia. He loads in, the sun is shining, the grass is green. For the first hour, everything is fine. The builder is in a state of flow. He is the god of this world, and he is busy creating. But then, he enters a hallway he just built, and the audio engine triggers a specific file. It's just an ambient track. It's designed to add atmosphere. But in this specific context, it does something else. The builder stops. He looks around the room he just created. It has doors, but no one to open them. It has chairs, but no one to sit in them. It has hallways designed for foot traffic, but the only thing moving is the dust particles. This is where the psychological concept of Kenopsia kicks in. Kenopsia is defined as the eerie, forlorn atmosphere of a place that is usually bustling with people, but is now abandoned. You usually feel this in a school hallway at night or an empty shopping mall. These places were designed for human life. Their geometry expects movement. When you remove the people, the geometry feels wrong. The builder looks at his map. The source engine was built for multiplayer. It was built for deathmatch, for chat logs, for chaos. But playing alone, the builder has created a paradox. He is occupying a space designed for a crowd. And the human brain hates a paradox, so it tries to fix it. It starts scanning the empty corners. It starts asking questions. If this place was built for people, where did they go? And suddenly, the silence isn't peaceful anymore. It's heavy. The builder tries to shake it off. He tells himself, it's just a game. He goes back to placing blocks. But now, the environment has changed. The fog at the edge of the render distance doesn't look like a technical limitation anymore. It looks like a wall, hiding something. He enters a dark room to place a torch. He turns a corner, and for a microsecond he sees movement. A shadow, a figure standing in the doorway. He spins around, nothing. Just a stone block, just a texture puppet. But his heart is racing. His hands are sweating. Why? The entity list is still 0. He knows he's safe, so why is his body reacting like he's about to die? Evolutionary psychologists call this the Hyperactive Agency Detection Device, or HADD. Imagine you are an early human, standing in the tall grass 50,000 years ago. You hear a twig snap behind you. You have 2 choices. 1, assume it's the wind. 2, assume it's a tiger. If you assume it's a tiger and it's just the wind, you feel silly, but you survive. But if you assume it's the wind and it is a tiger, you die. We are the descendants of the paranoid. We are children of the people who assumed everything was a tiger. And now, you have placed that ancient paranoid brain inside a digital world that is unnaturally silent. To your brain, silence doesn't mean safety. to your brain, a silent jungle is a hunting ground. So, the HADD system starts glitching. It scans the geometry for threads that aren't there. It takes a random pattern of pixels in the fog and screams face. It takes a random cave noise and screams footsteps. The builder isn't being haunted by the game code. He is being haunted by his own biology. He is trapped in a feedback loop where the safer the game is, the more terrified he becomes. Because in a world where nothing is supposed to happen, the mere possibility of something happening becomes the scariest thing on earth. The builder decides he can't stay in the house anymore. The silence is too loud. So he decides to walk. He leaves the town he built. He walks past the trees, past the mountains, until the familiar generation algorithms start to break down. He finds himself in a long, flat corridor of gray stone. Or maybe he glitches through the floor and sees the skybox, that hollow shell wrapping around the entire universe. This is where the fear shifts. He isn't afraid of a tiger anymore. He is afraid of the architecture. This is the realm of the liminal space. In psychology, liminality comes from the Latin word for threshold. It is a place of transition, a waiting room, a parking garage, a hallway between two doors. These places are not meant to be lived in. They are meant to be passed through. But in an empty single-player server, the entire world is a waiting room. It is waiting for a second player who will never arrive. The builder stares at a texture on the wall. It repeats over and over, a perfect mathematical pattern. He looks at the door. It doesn't open. It's just a painting of a door. He realizes he is standing in the uncanny valley of place. You know the uncanny valley for faces? When a robot looks almost human, but not quite, and it makes you sick? Well, the game worlds are the same. They look almost real. The light bounces correctly, the dust motes float, but there is no decay, there is no entropy. The world is frozen in a perfect plastic stasis. It is a dead diorama. The builder realizes that the ghost he feels isn't a monster hiding in the dark. The ghost is the game engine itself. He feels watched because the world is watching him. The render engine is tracking his vision to load the assets. The audio engine is tracking his coordinates to trigger the sounds. The level is loading in front of him and deleting itself behind him. He is the center of a universe that is constantly building a stage just for him, and then tearing it down the second he looks away. And that is a very lonely and very terrifying thing to realize. So what does the builder do? He stands at the edge of the render distance. Behind him is the empty city he built. In front of him is the endless hollow void of the skybox. He is terrified. Every instinct in his body is telling him to quit, to Alt F4, to go back to a lobby filled with screaming teenagers, just so he doesn't have to be alone anymore. But he doesn't leave, he stays. Why? Because there is a strange comfort in this fear. You see, humans are social creatures. We are built to connect. If you put a human in a sensory deprivation tank, a place with no light, no sound, and no people, the brain will panic. It will start to hallucinate. It will invent sights and sounds just to keep itself stimulated. We are so desperate for company that we would rather be haunted than be truly alone. The builder feels worse because his mind is trying to fill the void. It is painting ghosts into the shadows because a ghost is better than nothing. A monster implies a relationship. Even if it wants to hurt you, at least it acknowledges that you exist. The ghosts in the machine aren't glitches. They aren't some creepypasta myth. They are reflections. The game is a black mirror. When you stare into the empty map, you aren't seeing a haunted code. You are seeing your own brain frantically trying to prove that it isn't the only thing in the universe. Eventually, the builder turns around. He walks back into this empty house. He places a music disc in the jukebox. The fear is still there. The prickle on the back of his neck is still there. But now, he understands it. He isn't being watched by a monster. He is being washed by the silence, and for tonight, that's company enough. So the next time you're playing alone and you feel that sudden chill, don't be afraid. It's just your humanity reminding you that you weren't built to be an island.